Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Mwah.
I will not tire of kissing those lips.
That's good. I like that. So I want to go on a little bit of a rant. This is a Jeffrey Pearl rant. Now that we're kind of all zen, it's not really much of a rant. But if I hear one more doctor on, we do it. Karen and I do a lot of studying up on healthful living and specifically healthful eating and nutrition. So we see a lot of debates and doctors, and one after another says, hey, I was in my practice for 20 years and I really got tired of people saying, hey, doc, I know I have cancer. What should I be doing about my eating? Or I have heart disease. What could I be doing about my eating? What should I be eating to help the situation? And the doctor would say, I really don't know. And at least this is what they're saying on their interviews or talks. I've seen this one after another. Right. I really don't know. That's why they went out and really studied nutrition. And these are various doctors out there. I'm not going to throw all the names out. But
a few, because I think it's worthy of noting who they are, right? Dr. William Lee, the guy...
We just heard that from Lee, which he's very smart, by the way.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Dr. Oh my goodness. Dr. Campbell, Dr. We just listened.
Are you listing off people that you're listening to, or are these the people that said they didn't have nutritional
well,
teachings?
all of these are doctors who said they didn't have nutritional teachings,
yes.
And then they realized how important it was, so they went back and now have changed their practices. Most of these were either cardiologists or scientists or general practitioners that have actually changed their practice tenfold to have nutrition be the focus. Dr. Joel Fermin is another one. There's a huge list of doctors.
Sure. Tons of them.
Yeah.
But the point is, we hear one after another. I said to Karen, it's like, oh my God, if I hear one more doctor say this, why isn't the industry listening? The universities, the medical schools listening when I'm sure a lot of these doctors are going back there to speak graduations or speak at, a talk, giving talks or whatever, research. And why aren't they looking at least doing Nutrition 101 or Nutrition 201, 301, advanced nutrition? I mean, just, could you have those 4 classes so people would know what's going on? And the thing that's crazy to me, we even went to our doctor here recently, and we're doing a full panel of blood tests. Karen and I are vegans, so we like to do some extra checking on different things. And the doc, who I love, by the way, was asking, what is this that you're checking, Jeffrey? I don't even know what this is. And it's a basic thing. Again, I don't want to throw out names or throw out what's going on, but it just boggles my mind. I said to Karen, it's like, holy crap, why aren't they requiring people to learn this stuff? Because food is thy medicine. I mean, our food heals ourselves. I mean, I can tell you stories. You guys know my story if you've seen the videos where they want to put me on statins when I was on the road eating a bunch of steak dinners. That was my steps into veganism and how I cured myself. I didn't have to go take any of the drugs. This melanoma that we're working with, a lot of it has to do with plant-based. And I thought what you said was brilliant. I'm like, these doctors, and Karen said, well, how about just, generally for all of us at university, and I said, that's brilliant, because I'm pretty sure I had to take some math classes. I mean, I started out in engineering, then went to psychology, but I had to take some math classes. I had calculus and some other things in there that I can tell you I've never used again, zero. And would you use nutrition? Absolutely. I mean, why not require nutrition instead of calculus or whatever, chemistry?
And we talked about it. So if you look at the population and take it earlier than university, let's take it to elementary school and start there. But at the very least in high school, where a lot of kids are making their own food choices and nutrition choices, and so they're actually creating their own health right then and there. But you and I said, how many people on earth are going to use what they learned in the calculus class? I don't know. I'm not a mathematician.
It's a small percentage.
But it's a small percentage. Let's just, for the fun of it, say it's 25%. which we know is super high, right? It's probably like 5%, but let's just say it's 25%, compared to how many people will use what they learn about nutrition in their life. Everyone, 100% of the people.
Right.
So why are we not teaching our, population how to be strong and healthy and mentally alert with our food so that we can learn better? It makes no sense.
Well, if anything, when you say elementary school and what just puts a chill down my spine, I remember the food pyramid in our cafeteria, which is all like, we've changed this somewhat, and it needs to be changed again. But it was all, it was all wrong. It was all driven by, money going in to fund these, studies from groups. It was just terrible.
Right.
I don't even like to think about it.
Money going into the meat and the dairy industry.
Well, the opposite was true. We were being trained as young kids, all the wrong information. But, the point is, I think a lot of people look at doctors, and probably rightly so. You have to be your own self-advocate. But the doctors as, hey, my doctor really knows. My doctor's going to tell me this. Or, I'm telling my brother who has some issues. And he's like, Jeffrey, why isn't my doctor telling me this? Like I said, because he doesn't know. I mean, that's the problem. They just have no idea. And
those that do know something have said they don't even bother because their clients aren't going to follow that program, the majority, or they don't want to hear that.
Well, to stick up for the doctors, I do have some friends who are docs, and I'll meet some on the ski lift, and I'll bring this up to people. I'm like, why don't you push this with your peeps, so with your clients? And that you're right, Karen, to their defense, what they say is, hey, Jeffrey, not everyone's going to take steps like you do and change your whole diet to correct something. Most people just want a pill and they want the easy way out. Now, I really think that's a cop-out of an answer. I think if you got to give people the information and educate them, and then let them make the decision. If they say, I don't give a shit, I'm just going to keep eating this crap, that's their problem, because the beauty is we all have been given in this life the freedom of choice. We get to choose every split second of the day with which way we want to go, what we want to do. So it's your choice.
Right. And we had another doctor through this whole journey, and we asked her about that, and we really made a point to ask all of the doctors, because we've seen so many about their feeling about nutrition and the body and healing diseases and curing diseases. And this particular one, again, I will leave the names out, said, oh, well, I tried the keto diet and I still got cancer. And, that was for Jeffrey and I, that really was, those gave us our walking papers.
That was the end of that.
That was the end of that meeting, because in our mind, and again, we're not against ketosis. We've talked about the importance that it can have in healing disease, but the keto diet itself is not a diet that is going to prevent disease. In fact, if you are going to continue to eat all of those proteins that are filled with hormones and antibiotics, you are going to get cancer, right? I mean,
you definitely could. So you get doctor about it. You're right. The keto diet, and even the
meat diet,
the people that are really back in the keto diet, anybody that knows anything about it will say you can't do it long. I mean, it's great, you can lose some pounds short term, but you can't do it long. At the end of the day,
and they all say it's the Atkins diet, just it's new with the new name, so new people can make money off of it. And we all know how the Atkins diet fared for people. So it's just very interesting. I'd love to hear your comments about this. One other thing I was going to throw in as you were talking, so I just remember when I was on the road doing a lot of steak dinners, and the doctor said, hey, Karen, I need you and Jeffrey to come in right away. She was a friend. My stats were all going the wrong way. I did the blood test, and we changed the diet. When I changed the diet and came back in 6 weeks later, I went in there and everything was rock star status again. And I remember my business partner back then said, hey, what did she say? And just said, oh, great. And he was just irate. And the funny thing is, and again, love that doctor, didn't really care what I did. I avoided the drugs, but I ate plant-based for 6 weeks and corrected everything, but she really didn't care. And just like, again, I love this doctor with what we've got going on here with
the melanoma, and you know
Right.
the imiquimod's working. It's like the other question is, what else are you doing? What kind of sleep are you getting? What I get stress levels. You know, we're doing meditation, we're doing Reiki healing.
Right.
You know, eating. I completely cut out sugars and cut out gluten, which is just huge.
Right.
I'm doing intermittent fasting. It's just so many things,
right.
but no one's saying, hey, it only works in 20% of the patients. What do these 20% of the patients do differently?
Right.
Because don't you think that's important?
Bingo, bingo, bingo. That's exactly it. Because if, you know, and I do understand the point of going to the doctor is for them to cure what ails you.
Yeah, right.
And that is, you know, the result, right? The end result. But if somebody else going through the exact same thing can benefit from knowing all of that information, you know, and especially with immunotherapy works with your immune system. So unless your immune system is as strong as it possibly can, you really don't have a prayer with the immunotherapy. And so you can control the strength of your own immune system by what you put in it, or equally as important, what you don't put in it.
So here's the question, I guess. Why aren't we as a society, or why aren't the doctors and the associations demanding that there's some education around nutrition?
Right.
That's all. I guess that's a question. That's all the question I want to pose. And by the way, I'm not talking about, you know, they go to school for 4 years. I'm talking about, how about just a couple classes on it, so you just get a high level on how nutrition plays into your health. So that's the question I ask of you guys. Could you please just type in down below what you think? Why is it that it's not required, and why is it that some of the doctors just seem to not care about nutrition? Right?
Yeah, I just don't think that most of them place the value on it that you and I see, and that the doctors that we follow for our learnings see. So be interesting to hear what everyone has to say about it. Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the Nest at Copper Mountain. And yet another beautiful snowstorm out there today.